A Roman emperor once sat at the edge of a burning city. Flames leapt into the night, people screamed, the world seemed to collapse into chaos. And yet he opened his journal and reminded himself of one thing: the fire outside was not his to control, only the fire within. That emperor was Marcus Aurelius, and the lesson he wrote to himself nearly 2,000 years ago is the same lesson we still need today. When the world falls apart, what does it mean to remain steady? What does it mean to hold yourself firm when everything else is slipping away? The truth is, most of us live in the illusion of control. We believe we can bend life to our will. We think if we work hard enough, plan carefully enough, love deeply enough, we can keep loss away, keep betrayal from happening, keep fate from turning against us. But life has always been untamable. Marcus Aurelius buried children. He ruled through a plague that killed millions. Epictetus was born a slave and lived with a twisted leg his master broke on purpose. None of them escaped suffering. What they discovered instead was something sharper, more durable, that the only true control is over our choices, our judgments, our inner state. Not the storm, not the chaos, not the opinions of others, only ourselves. The Stoics called this the inner citadel, the fortress of the mind. Everything outside may fall to ruin, but if you strengthen this citadel, nothing can truly harm you. Think of an athlete who trains not only for speed and strength, but for the pressure of the final match. Think of a soldier drilled to stay calm under fire. Think of the entrepreneur who faces rejection after rejection, but refuses to let despair take root. Each of these is an echo of the same principle. We cannot decide the outcome, but we can decide the preparation. You have this citadel too. The question is whether you will strengthen it or abandon it to the winds of circumstance. Adversity will test you. Imagine a ship caught in a storm, waves crashing, the deck tilting wildly. The crew panics, but the captain remains calm, steering with quiet hands. He cannot stop the sea, he cannot calm the skies, but he can control his bearing, and in that bearing he steadies others. Or imagine Epictetus in chains reminding himself, "You can chain my leg, but not my mind." That is the Stoic truth. The world may bind your body, but your mind remains free. And what about today? For us, adversity might mean the collapse of a relationship, the failure of a project, the grief of losing someone we love. We cannot erase the pain, but we can decide whether the pain will shape us or shatter us. This is where the Stoic reframe becomes powerful. They taught that obstacles are not interruptions, but raw material. Fire feeds on what it consumes. The harder the wood, the brighter the flame. Life's hardships are the wood you are given. You can let them crush you, or you can burn brighter because of them. Control, then, is not about fixing everything. It is about one steady truth. I do not control what happens. I control what I do with what happens. That single shift can transform how we face loss, criticism, and fear. So pause and ask yourself, what are you carrying right now that is outside your control? Maybe it's the judgment of others. Maybe it's the uncertainty of the future. Maybe it's an old wound that reopens every time you think of it. What if you set those things down? Not by denying them, but by refusing to let them govern your soul. And then ask, what is within your control? Your words, your actions, the way you respond in the next 5 minutes. That is where your power lives. The city still burned, the flames still raged, but Marcus wrote, not in despair, but in discipline. He could not stop the fire, but he could shape his soul. And that is the gift the Stoics handed down to us. You may not control the world, but you can always control yourself. And sometimes that is enough to change the world. So tonight, when you find yourself restless, when your mind races with what ifs and what could go wrong, remember this: you cannot calm the storm, but you can calm yourself. You cannot force the outcome, but you can choose your effort. You cannot guarantee tomorrow, but you can master this moment. And in mastering this moment, you reclaim a freedom that no chaos can steal. You've been watching Unshaken, the Stoic Mindset. If this gave you something to think about, something to steady yourself with, make sure to like this video and subscribe to The Fluid Creative for more stories and lessons that keep you grounded when the world isn't. Until next time, stay unshaken.